Picture this. In 2016, Britain told the European Union, "We are leaving and we will thrive without you." Brussels responded, "Good riddance, you will collapse without us." Fast forward to 2025, and both are collapsing. Inflation is destroying purchasing power, currencies are weakening, growth has stopped, but only one side chose this path. This is the brutal, honest comparison nobody wants to admit. Both Brexit Britain and the European Union are economic disasters, but one disaster is more embarrassing. Welcome to the economic train wreck on both sides of the English Channel. Here is who is losing worse in the race to the bottom. The United Kingdom bet everything on independence. Brexit was sold as economic liberation, control borders, make trade deals, escape Brussels bureaucracy. So what happened? United Kingdom gross domestic product growth is now the worst in the G7 at just 0.6%, the slowest among major economies. Inflation peaked at 11% in 2022, the highest since 1982. Interest rates jumped to 5.25%, crushing homeowners with mortgages. The pound collapsed to 1.07 against the dollar, the lowest since 1985. Real wages after inflation have fallen for 18 consecutive months. Business investment dropped 20% as companies fled to Europe. Trade with the European Union collapsed by 15%, exactly as predicted. Labor shortages appeared everywhere from hospitality to healthcare. The National Health Service is on the verge of collapse with record waiting times. But Brexiteers argue we knew there would be costs. We control immigration now. Give it time, and independence will pay off eventually. Now the European Union side. Brussels promised losing Britain would make Europe stronger. The remaining 27 nations would be more unified. 3 years later, the European Union looks worse than Britain in almost every metric. Economic growth is 0.5%, even slower than the United Kingdom. Germany, the economic engine, is in recession for the first time since 2020. Industrial production fell 10%. Factories are closing. France is burning with riots over raising retirement age. President Macron barely survived no confidence votes. The country is in chaos. Italy has debt at 145% of gross domestic product and rising. The government cannot afford basic services. Default risk increases. Youth unemployment in Spain, Greece, and Italy remains above 25%. An entire generation locked out with no hope of improvement. Energy prices exploded after cutting off Russian gas. Households paying 3 to 4 times more. Industries are shutting down. The euro weakened from 1.18 to 1.05 against the dollar. Inflation hit 10%. The entire European project is fracturing. Hey, quick pause. If this comparison is opening your eyes, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Who is more screwed? Here is the critical difference. The United Kingdom chose economic pain. Brexit was deliberate. British voters accepted short-term costs for sovereignty. When the economy struggles, Brexiteers can say, "This is the price we knew we would pay. We made this choice knowing consequences." But what is the European Union excuse? They chose unity, promised strength and prosperity. Brussels said the single market would protect them. Yet the European Union is performing worse than the country they said would collapse. Worse growth, worse unemployment, worse energy crisis. Germany in recession, France in chaos, Italy drowning in debt, Spain with 28% youth unemployment. This was the successful model. Instead, it proves the European Union model is broken regardless of whether Britain is in it or not. So who is worse? Both are disasters, but the European Union is failing while claiming unity is strength. At least Britain can say we are suffering because we chose independence. The European Union is suffering despite choosing to stay together. The problem is not Brexit. The problem is Western Europe has deep structural problems. aging populations, welfare states, energy dependence. These problems exist whether you are in the Union or out. No political arrangement can fix demographic collapse and lack of innovation. The real story is both are in decline. The question is which decline you prefer, the one you chose or the one you were promised would not happen. If you learned something, hit that like button, share this with someone who thinks only one side is struggling, and subscribe because we cover economic forces destroying the world every day.